cool. It's cool hanging out with, with good people who get it and going hunting with them. And, Steve is really particular about who he lets me go hunting with, because I'll get out there in the field and I'll put myself in a position where I'm to get shot if somebody didn't know what they were doing. And
Right.
so, safety is the most important thing. It's like, rule number one, don't get shot. Rule number two, refer to rule number one, don't get shot. And so Josh is always with his dog. He's always on the left edge or the right edge of the blind or the wherever we are. And so I can kind of like be, just around the corner from him, and he knows, okay, I can't go that way because Rob's over there.
Right.
And so that's always been a great way to put me. So I'll be wearing a ghillie suit, and they make fun of me. I'm, he's one of the face painters, some out of state boys like the, and I look like, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator with the mud, in the eyes showing. But I don't want, I'm all in. They can make fun of me, but it's like those ducks aren't going to see me because they're not going to see me. I'm a fat bush sitting out there on the marsh.
Yeah, you're not going to be the reason that they're flaring.
No,
you're not there to ruin the hunt. And
no.
it's a give and take. I mean, you want to get the shots that you came to get. Josh wants you to get those shots because he's going to benefit from it.
Yep.
And, like you said, it's a mutual agreement. Like, there's a camera guy here. He's doing what we're asking him to do. If they make fun of you for doing it to the next level, it is what it is. But you're going to sit there and you go, those birds didn't flare because of me. You guys are doing something.
You popped up out of the blind.
Yeah. You pie faced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The funny thing is that Josh can say, Rob, don't move. And the dogs know the birds are coming in. And so that's, you can just listen for that in videos. Because I usually edit it out, but it's kind of the inner joke, but it's like, I can get the dog. Yeah. I can get the dogs. I go, Rob, don't move. And the dog's like, huh, where?
It's the same as like, where's your bird?
Yes. Yes. it really is. And so we have a good time doing that. And then, I've helped him with some content, but most of that stuff, like Retriever Roadmap, they developed internally. But anything he needed that I had, I was like, I got all this B-roll. Like I said, I got 50 terabytes of B-roll. Here you go.
Imagine, yeah.
And
between you and Brett, I can't imagine how much footage there is of River Stone dogs.
Yeah, and it's great because like these dogs are getting older, and it's like we're not going to have them forever. And just having some of this stuff, I wish I was better 5 years ago, than I was, because so I'd have even more good stuff. I think, nowadays it doesn't take me 10 days to get the shots I want. 2 or 3 days I usually got. Yeah. If the lights cooperate and we got any birds at all, I usually can get what I want. Whatever. I'm the limiting factor, not the weather and the birds at that point.
Right. Yeah.
But have you gotten the guys you go hunting with trained to where to put the light so that the sun's not in your face when you're shooting?
So in this area, like the lighting thing is tough because we're generally hunting very open water. So I get glares, I get, all sorts of stuff. And it's, we battle the sun, but we also have to use it. Like if we're hunting divers, we need the sun to shine on the decoys. We need it to shine on, spinners and stuff like that to get. So no, I have not trained my hunting buddies on light. The only one that really understands it is Sean when I'm filming for him. But it's that might
be enough. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to watch how people can kind of learn stuff about photography through me being in a bad mood. No poker face. Take all my money, Brian. It's all right here. I'll be like, oh yeah, they know exactly what I'm thinking because I'll be like, mother. The sun's coming up, and it's like, and here I am with my 600. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have a signal flare for the ducks. Go away, ducks! You're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Right here, it's like I'm gonna go a mile that way, and I'm gonna put 2 doublers on my 600, and I'm gonna hope I get anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, they just learn. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe if we go like this, the sun's over there, and not directly in his face when the dogs are coming back.
Yeah. No, that's nothing. When I'm hunting myself, like I take all my gear. I'm gearing up for tomorrow morning. I got a whole, waterproof case here that I'm going to take.
You're killing me. Tomorrow morning, I hate.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm so jealous.
I'll hate you in January when you guys are smashing birds after our season's done.
I'm ready to go. If you just call me, you're like, hey, Rob, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
You can fly right now. You got time.
My wife.
When we go, I try to, because I film all my stuff for YouTube,
Right.
for myself, it's all action cameras. Like I have one on my head and the decoys and on the gun. But then I have a camera with me because I need to get shots for like Tangle Free and
Right.
other companies that I have contracts with that I need deliverables for. So I take my camera and all that stuff. So really, like unless I'm thinking about lighting, nobody else is. And
Right.
if I'm filming, generally the consensus is after the hunt, people go, "I forgot you were filming," because I have it. It's all
No, no, no.
pretty much automated. It's on
That's
my
the
head, and it doesn't affect the hunt in any way. The only
right.
time that it really anybody notices that I'm taking pictures is if I say I'm taking pictures. Like if I
Right.
step out of the blind and I'm like, I need a panel blind shot for Tangle Free, or I need
Right.
waiter shots for Tide Wee, or whatever it is. I'll say something like I need to go grab this shot, or as soon as we shoot and I send the dog, then I generally have my camera case next to me and I just grab the camera and then get stuff as he's coming back in, and then that's the end of it.
Okay. Okay. So that's very similar to how we do. Like my take is I start off shooting with an iPhone because in that early morning light where it's like, you can it's going to be noisy. You can get an
Yeah,
image that
yeah,
you can recognize as a dog coming back, but
yeah.
compared to an hour later, it's not going to be, it will never be portfolio material.
No.
It's just a record of a dog coming back in the dark.
Yeah,
And then it's like, okay, well, how much stabilization do you have, and how much you're going to over process it with that AI, noise reduction
yes,
stuff, so it looks like you know, a bad filter, like
yeah.
a glamour filter, like it looks like I'm
It
wearing.
makes them look almost AI. Like
Yeah,
it makes them look computer generated.
yeah, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
So I start shooting with my iPhone, and iPhone's actually got pretty good if you keep the frame rate down, to like 24 or 30, you
yeah,
know, especially the newer ones are super great about that. But I've gotten some of the best video I've ever gotten with my stupid iPhone. I spent
yeah,
all this money and all this time learning this stuff. This stupid iPhone, this
yeah,
stupid phone right here. Okay.
yeah,
It's the best. I mean, because you can whip it around and you're not going to throw it off the tripod. And it's like, ooh, they're coming in and you can pinch and you can zoom in
yeah.
and,
And they're
and it's like,
generally waterproof. I mean, it's one of those things
right,
where the quality that you're gonna get out of a mirrorless camera, you're not gonna get out of an iPhone, but you're gonna get pretty close, and it depends on how close you want to be. Like I,
right,
I
right.
keep my phone in my waiter pocket, like
Yep.
when and if I jump out of the blind too quick and I didn't grab a camera, guess what? I'm getting it on my phone. Like I shoot B-roll on my phone as we're going out to the blind and all that stuff. If
So
it's
sideways, like horizontal or vertical?
Yeah, it depends. Like if I know I'm gonna be putting like a TikTok reel together, or a shorts or an Instagram reel or something, then I'll probably start vertical, and then
Okay.
I'll get the same shot horizontal. It'll just be
Okay.
boom, boom, and then I put it away. But it's the same concept where it's so convenient to just
Yeah.
take that phone, get what you need, but do I want it on my mirrorless camera? Absolutely. Do I want it with a 70 to 200 at f2.8?
Yes.
Absolutely. Will I take whatever I can get?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because
Great.
I don't want to miss a shot, but it's a battle I fight every time. Like
Yes.
when if we're hunting and I'm filming for RNTV and I get to shoot, I don't hand the camera over to Sean. He just pulls out his phone, and then
Right.
it'll be like he just gets whatever he can. Probably won't make it into the episode, but he's got it if he wants it. And then
Right.
generally he sends it to me, and then I'll put it in a YouTube video somewhere.
Right.
Like it's
What yeah, like I spent 2 days filming with my brother in West Texas, uh, of these puppies. That thing I posted it's probably 7, 8 years ago.
okay,
Um, and I didn't have a money shot. I had the dogs, had the little puppies working on check cords, and they're like chasing
okay,
quail. They're out and they're like exploring West Texas, and they're not like finished dogs yet. You know, and I was like, this is great, but I don't have them on point with birds coming up. So I
yeah,
leave. As I get home, Steve's texting me these videos, and I'm like, I hate you. Because he's there all the time, and he just goes, "Meow," and
yeah,
thank he did, and he got me, and you can tell, but not really. And it's good enough for social.
right, yeah, yeah.
I'm not making a TV show, and that's what that's it. Steve always says, "Hey, we're not making Star Wars. Like, wrap it up."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean anymore it's like there's so many people that are making like there's very high ranking YouTubers that are just
Right.
filming with their phone. There's
Sure.
people that are making TV shows with just their phone. It's like you can do it. It just, for me, in my eye, I can see a compressed
Yes.
iPhone video every single time. I know exactly what it looks like. And as soon as I see a DSLR or a mirrorless video, I'm like, I, my eyes can tell just because I'm doing it so often. Like I'm
Right.
using my iPhone, I am using my mirrorless camera. Like I can see that difference. So it's interesting when I see something on TV or like on a TV show, Hulu or whatever, and I go, that was filmed with an iPhone. Or
Right.
I can look at something and go, they used warp stabilizer for that because it's all.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, to the untrained eye, nobody cares. And that's generally like most of my clients being weddings, they don't really care. But I can't put my name on something and
Right.
be like, yeah, I'll take an iPhone video and send it
Yeah.
to you for thousands of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. I do. And and your deliverables are expensive. So it's like, it's not just another, ad for a hunting dog vest that's in the,
right.
you know what I mean? This is like a boosted post or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's interesting to see throughout the industry, like how people are doing it.
Yeah.
Like Josh could easily sell dogs without having you and Brett there, but he doesn't want
Absolutely.
to.
Right.
That's
Right.
what his, when you scroll through Instagram, you look at a Riverstone photo as opposed to any of the other breeders, and it's like you go on the Riverstone page, it's yours and Brett's photos everywhere, and they're killer shots.
Thank you.
And it's
That means a lot
that's
coming
because
from
you
you,
guys, well,
rocks. So
yeah,
that's high praise. Much
well,
appreciated.
I don't know about all that, but it's cool to see. Like it's great to follow your guys' work, and even just to hear like the story of how it got to that point is awesome.
Yeah, we just kind of backed into it. The funny thing is that the worse the duck hunting is, the better the photography is.
Because
So
you
when
have
they're
time.
pulling them, I'm miserable. We
Yeah,
went with a whole bunch of dudes, and it was like there were like 60. The pile was like 60 mallards, and I'm just over
yeah,
there in the corner going, "I hate my life,"
yeah,
because there's nothing to take pictures of because the dogs are going out and coming in, and however many 13 dudes shooting or whatever it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Too many people for me. But that's where the ducks were, so that's where
Right.
we got invited to go. So that's where we went. But we'll go, and if I get, if we get one great greenhead, oh yeah, and the
Yeah.
light's halfway decent, and it's like
Yeah.
we've been sitting there for 2 hours and we don't see anything. I'm like going, photo shoot. The sun starts popping over the top of that swamp. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got about 30 minutes before this light gets too harsh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all my favorites, are all mostly staged, mostly
Yeah.
like with the dog. And the cool thing about that I like about Josh is that it's like if I'm taking a picture of the bald eagle over at the wildlife refuge by my house, I can't go, hey, Mr. Bald Eagle, I blew the exposure on that one. You mind loop it back around one time and America,
Yeah.
It's like he's way back over. He's a mile away, and I can see him on a
Yeah.
tree. Josh just be like, all right, Brock, do it again, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, can you 15-degree more of an angle? Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. And then he can make the dog stop wherever I want him to stop. So I was like, can you get him to stop,
Exactly.
you know, after the first clump of junk, but before the second clump of junk, because
Yeah.
the reflection is going to be really cool. He's like, absolutely. And
See,
so
and
it's like,
that's what makes it like such a good partnership and why those
yes,
photos turn out the way that they do. Because if you
yes,
if somebody hired you like an outfitter and you were
right.
going to go shoot there, they're more concerned about the clients and they're just hoping that you're getting the photos that they want to see.
Yep.
But if you go with Josh, it's like, yeah, if you burn a flock or two because you're getting a really killer photo, he doesn't care. He shot enough birds. Those dogs have had enough birds in their mouths. They're not going to worry about, 3 gadwall that didn't come in the hole
Yes.
because you guys
Yes.
were trying to get that money shot. Like
Right. Right.
that's really cool. Like that's a cool
He's,
thing it's fun for you. Probably makes it a lot more fun.
oh, it is. It is. That's why I hate going with other people. No offense, other people who take me duck hunting, but it's like, no, but it's like he speaks Rob. It's like you got to speak fluent Rob, and
Yeah.
he knows what I'm looking for, and he knows, when the sun starts, he can tell when the light's getting good, probably because I'm vibrating. Okay. You know what I'm talking about when that red sun's coming through the
Yeah.
trees.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God. I
That
got to get out there,
glow.
please.
Yes.
And if they haven't killed anything, and it's like it's one of the earlier days of the season or whatever, then I'm like, let them kill their birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once
Yeah. Yeah.
once they got 4 or 5 birds, you know, hanging from the stringer, all right, well, Rob's got to eat too, you know. And they're real good about it. And I get pictures of everybody with their dogs, and I try to
Yeah.
get candids of them just, you know, shooting and looking cool, and you know,
Right.
and that goes a long way. I think I could go hunting for the rest of my life and never have to pay, just by like, hey, I'll throw you some dog pictures,
Yeah.
you know, just
Oh,
from
people
people
love it.
stuff. Yeah, and it's, you know, I don't think I'd make a living doing it, but it's like it would be, you know, it'd be fun rolling.
I
You know,
think there's something to be said about like doing photo and video work in the waterfowl industry. You're mostly doing it for the love of the game. Like
absolutely.
I don't think I couldn't support my
No,
family and my lifestyle on what I do, but it's some fun spending money here and there. But for the most part, it's just because I can get some of the coolest shit I've ever gotten.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
And
it's
if you're not out there, you're not getting it. You know what I mean? You can't go out there one day and get the shot of the season.
right.
You know what I mean? Everything's got to line up. The weather's got to line up. The lights got to be right. The ducks got to be working where they need to be. You know, and it's always when I'm in the middle of doing something like, oh, it's like, oh, I'll be back in a minute. I left something in the truck, and it's like, oh, wait, they're coming in. They're coming in. You know, and I'm like, ah,
Yeah, I've been there plenty of times. It's a it's a balance for sure. You know, but like you said, it's also I have people reach out to me all the time because they see the videos on TikTok
yep,
and they see them on Facebook, and for whatever reason, those get such good traffic. But then I get people that message me and what's a good starter camera? How do I
oh,
get
let's talk about
make
that. That's
yeah,
great. No,
it's
no,
like
but
it's
like,
just
when people come to you, what do you tell them when they say, you know, hey, I'm a duck hunter. I want to take pictures of my dog. You know,
I tell them the three big brands and I say find a mirrorless camera that's in your price range.
there you go.
And then I say spend your money on the lenses. But at this
Yep,
point in time, I'm not going to tell somebody to go learn a DSLR when
right.
you can pick up a mirrorless camera for $400. Sony or Canon sells a R100,
Okay,
$380 for a mirrorless camera that shoots 4K 60.
that's nuts.
Why would I tell them to go get a Canon 50D
Right.
on Facebook Marketplace with crop sensor lenses that have been scratched sitting in dust for 20
Yep.
years? I tell them, I just say, get that, buy it with a kit lens or buy it with like a 70 to 24 to 70 f4 because
Yep.
they're generally $500 or something.
Yep.
But it's that something like that will not discourage them to start shooting.
Right.
A DSLR will, because if you buy a mirrorless camera, generally now they come with an electronic viewfinder.
Yep.
You can see through it and see what you're shooting.
You see
If I
what you
hand
get.
somebody a
Yeah.
DSLR and I say shoot a photo through that, and they don't know to check the lighting meter on the bottom, or they just don't do a test shot, or you know how it is shooting with
Yeah.
a DSLR.
Yeah.
If if they don't know how to do that, they're probably just going to be like, well, screw it, I'll shoot on auto.
Right.
And it
And that's not gonna get you what you want. You know.
exactly. And so like I tell them, I say, find a mirrorless camera that's in your price range with a decent lens. And then I say, go on YouTube, look up the exposure triangle. Those
Yep.
two things right there, you can start taking at least like still photos, like without motion, without
Right.
like a dog running or a person moving or a plane flying. If you can start taking pictures of flowers and leaves, stuff outside, and at least getting an idea of how the camera works.
Right. And
That's generally where I start.
yeah, my thing is like, do you remember the Nikon P900, that 1,000
The
millimeter, you know, super super small sensor? But
Yeah.
okay, I've gone through 3 of those and a P1000. Okay,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got my money's worth out of those cameras, but I knew what every button did. I
Yeah.
knew, I, you know, not anymore, but 12 years ago when I got it,
Yeah.
I lived with that camera. I took it with me everywhere. It's like a telescope with
Yes.
a camera attached to it. And
Yep.
I got a video of eagles fighting a half a mile away. That's like, it's crappy P900 video from half a mile away, super
Yeah.
zoomed in, but you couldn't even see it from where we were sitting, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I learned that camera to where it's like, okay, I know that this will do this. I know that I can get these types of shots. And so for like, back then I was trying to be a duck photographer, because to me, that was the most challenging thing, you know, getting a wood duck in his natural environment with the light shining them on looking pretty, it's like that's tough just because you got to get there and not speak them.
Yeah.
But when they're flying or coming in or the motion shots, those are for me are just like that. Everything has to be right. You have to be great. Your camera has to be great. You have to be on 100. That's the hardest thing. Here's your window. Oh, you missed it.
2
or
seconds.
don't check your phone. Oh no, you look down and then also you look back up and it's like, what?
Exactly.
And so I would tell people, it's like, okay, figure out, like you said, figure out the camera that you're going to start with, and then know what all the different things do. Know that camera inside and out, so you can say, okay, this is too dark. I got to punch up the ISO so that I can see more, or I can, I can't shoot. I'm so blurry. It's like you got to shoot at 1,000th of a second or faster, or what to capture any motion at all.
Exactly.
Especially with these cameras that don't have all the stabilization and stuff that these new lenses do. The other thing that I think a lot of new photographers don't realize is that you can rent a $15,000 lens for a weekend
for $150.
Yeah, and it's like they'll ship it to you. I'm like, to me, to the guy who wrecks the side by side, to the guy who my brother won't loan him his tools. It's like, yeah, they will. Get the insurance.
They'll give it to anybody.
Yeah. Brian, don't loan me your lenses, okay?
They're all insured. I don't mind.
You might not want to buy any used lenses from me because I get my money's worth. No, we're going to delete that part because I might want to sell some gear. But I use lensrentals.com, and it's like I can drive through Memphis and pick stuff up and don't have to, but they'll overnight stuff to you,
Yeah.
And every time before you spend $15,000 on a lens, that's like buying a car.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, but the difference between a $15,000 lens and a $1,500 lens is 10x. It's 10x better, And it's like, and like you said, buy the lenses, not the bodies. Was it marry the lenses? Rent the bodies. Yeah, and it's like, and I've been like with glass. It's like I still got a bunch of old non-mirrorless, original. I got too much Canon glass to never be a Canon guy again.
Yeah, F mount or EF mount.
Yeah. Love those.
Well, the adapters now are so good.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. I mean, you look at their 600, and it looks like an adapter spray painted the same colors. The lens, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a new lens. I'm like, I know exactly what that is. Canon.
Yeah, they fused those together, and now they got a brand new lens. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you can rent some equipment and bodies. Like when a new body comes out, you can rent it, and it's really not enough time to learn stuff about it. But I've done that for a weekend or 5 days.
Yeah,
rented like when that when what was the 60 R60? I don't know. I'm horrible with model numbers, but like
the R6.
That's no, I don't. Yeah, I can't remember. But it was one that came out that was like a mid-range camera, but it was really good in low light, is what they said. And I got that, but I ended up letting one of Josh's assistants use that, and she loved it. She ended up buying one, And so anytime
the 90D was supposed to be a hybrid mirrorless DSLR. Doesn't matter. Yeah,
I can't remember. One got wet. That's the only thing
They don't function very well when they're wet either.
They do not. They do not. But renting lenses, and then deciding what kind of photography you want to do, and having a lookbook or a file, a swipe file of like, okay, Brian took this picture. I want a picture like this. How did he do it? Okay, well, this dog's in the swamp. The sun's, it's definitely not morning. It's definitely closer to midday because of where the sun is. All right, it's not cloudy. The sun's on the dog. You can see the glint in his eye. Okay, well, he's got a bird, and it's not a stunt duck that's 2 days old. So it's like he looks kind of fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go, these are the things that I need. And then go, okay, well, I can do this with an iPhone almost, or I can do a great picture with any type of pro camera.
Right.
Because it's a setup, and the dogs, and I'll like, there's a picture that I've taken that I don't have that I could show you, but it was one of Brock sitting on a dog stand in front of a red maple tree that was still red in the middle of the swamp, and the light was perfect. I took 3,000 clicks of this dog. I have 20 of those could be magazine covers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how it is with dogs, because they're derpy and their eyes look in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Or they're, you take 30 frames a second, you're going to get a whole bunch of garbage, right?
Yeah.
But out of, 3,000 photographs, I mean, I'm like, I don't.
Be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, you'll catch them, they'll get the eyes right, and they'll be intense, and it'll be, and their posture will be right, or they won't be looking weird. And then there's the duck, if they're holding the duck in their mouth, That's a nightmare. And I didn't realize, you know, I'll pick on a friend of mine. I did the same time I did that. The buddy who was with us had his dog. He's like, take some of that pose with my dog. I was like, okay, we'll put him up on the stand with his bird. And he gets the mallard and goes, boom. You know, he didn't even hold the mallard.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
You
like,
can't do it.
oh. He's like, did you get anything? I was like, yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
And you just forget. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's like, you know, Josh has got this dog where he will hold it until Josh says, let go of it, you know, and he will, Josh has things where he can get him to perk his ears up a little bit, you know? And just having somebody who can handle a dog like that is like, that's, and to be honest, Josh set this one up. He was like, hey, why don't you get him out of the water? Because there's all this trash in the water. He's like, why don't you get him on the stand? Because you really like that. You were doing something with that red maple a second ago. Just move that stand over there. And I'm so mad because it's one of the best photos I've ever taken. It wasn't my dang photo. It's Josh's photo. I was just the guy holding the really good camera.
Yeah.
You know?
He's the one with the idea. Yeah.
He had the vision. Yeah, and it's great. And it's great. So it's like, it's nice having somebody you can collaborate with, you know.
That's yeah. And that's what I was saying before. It's like, you know, with Josh, you have that like that relationship with him where you can do something that you, like you said, like you've got a photo that you know you want to take. He's going to work with you on it so that you can get it and feel like your time was valuable being there.
And that was the second day after the opener, and I was like, I'm done for this season. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, I got it. I don't need y'all anymore. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all. Yeah, I was
see
like,
you next year.
Yeah, pack up the little Debbie's, and I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you next November. You know.
Yeah, that's.
And he didn't think that was funny because he didn't have anything besides that. You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get you. But no, it was like it was. You know how it is. It's feast or famine. You know, it's like I'll have one day and I'll get like 2 or 3 photos that are in my top 10 ever taken on the same damn day. Can't you spread them out a little bit for me? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's I run into that all the time where it's like I go into something, I'm like, today, like overcast or like you said, like super good lighting, and I will just fire it off. And then it's the next day and I start taking photos and I'm like, everything sucks.
Like, everything's flat and and
or
the dogs
just super harsh light and I can't make shadows and it's just.
Do you use like polarizers if you're ever doing stuff? Do you ever do anything with those?
I used to. I had one for an older lens, like I had a ND filter, a variable ND filter, and I would use it for certain things. Anymore, it's just like I get what I can get, and
and it kills the light too. I mean, it's got to be really bright for you to use a polarizer, otherwise, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, generally the idea for that is so you can keep your frame rate right on video. So, like if you're filming 50 frame, it's so that you can stay over 1/125, or that concept where if you're shooting 24 frame, you can keep it at 1/50 instead of 1/800 because of the.
Yeah, I've never let you see my settings because you'd be like, "What are you doing? Everything looks like Saving Private Ryan," because I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I just got to get the right. Just crank.
As long as I get stuff like with the right lighting, I don't really care anymore. Like I'm there, and I'm like you said, you're getting split second shots, and especially if I'm like in the off season. If I'm going out specifically to film ducks with my 500, it's like I'm filming everything in 4K 120, 500 millimeter lens at f4. If I'm filming 120 frames per second, a 1 second clip on a timeline is 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I need 1 second. Like that, I need 1 second of a bird in focus, and if I get 2 seconds, it's even better. But I need to be ready for that 1 second or that 2 seconds. And if I'm not in frame, if I'm not in focus, and I don't have the right lighting, I've just ruined the shot. So that's what I focus on anymore, especially like for that kind of stuff, like the stuff that I post all the time. If I'm doing like reels of just random stuff, it's like basically whatever I can get. If we go out and we hunt and I'm like, I'm going to make a cool reel out of it, then I'm just, I'll just get what I get, and if it sucks, then I don't care. I'll just shoot again another time. But
are you having issues like I'm pretty good at ecom and I'm pretty good at SEO, but as far as social goes, I'm like, not okay, but I can buy my way in. I get 1 million views on a video, but I'm paying for it.
You're sponsoring it.
It's an ad.
It depends.
It's just hunting stuff. As far as like, I've had problems with TikTok, you show a gun, the name of my company is Gun Dog Supply. Okay. Strike 3 coming out the gate with China. Okay. They don't know what, they don't know what this is. And
Yeah.
so like I had to pick a video that was a great YouTube short that I took out the part where the guns come up and they shoot, and then when the dog gets too close with the duck to where you
Right.
know it's a dead duck, I don't have that. And
Yeah.
I said, no ducks were harmed in any of the frames in this video because they
Yeah.
weren't,
Right.
you know. And then it was like I called it duck rescue. He's rescuing his friend. The dog's rescuing his friend who can't swim. He's bringing him back, to
Yeah.
land. Do you have any, any hints for me as far as like what platforms are better for the hunting stuff? YouTube has been great,
So, yeah, YouTube is good because that's what YouTube and Facebook don't seem to care about
Okay.
hunting. Instagram, for whatever reason, it's hit or miss. What I've found is so like all the stuff that I have of just birds flying, sitting, landing, doing whatever. For me, that does the best. And I don't know if it's because like there was a couple of videos that did well, and then those get pushed to those same people.
Right.
But that's what I post like every week, like once or twice a week. I in the off season I took like 1,000 videos, and then I've just
Okay.
put those up into reels for that. But because that appeals to all audiences. So if
Right.
you're not a duck hunter and you like birds, you like the video. So there's stuff like that that I've learned where it's like, yeah, TikTok likes it because there's nothing violent. Um, it's just birds flying. So that's kind of how I've navigated the different types of content that I'll make is is it is it suitable for Instagram? Is it suitable for TikTok? And if it's not, like if I know I'm gonna have like a video with a gun in it or with a bird or a dog with a bird in its mouth, I just won't post it to TikTok and just not worry
Right.
about it. But for the most part, like I mean, I'm not I'm not gonna say that I'm not putting or that I'm putting videos on there to grow my stuff because yeah, like there's something to be said about having the quality of videos that we make or the quality of photos. Like we want people to see them. Like we're
Right.
not, if we don't want them to see it, then we won't post it. But if we think it's cool and we want people to see it, then I've put time and money and effort into these things, and it's nice to see them get the recognition that they deserve. But at the same time, if a video doesn't do well, it's like whatever. I'm not. I make money like the stuff is monetized besides like TikTok.
Right.
So you make some, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like a million view video will make you like $9, and it's like like what's the point for me is like to grow the brand. So like to grow the YouTube channel and to grow my media company, like the things that
Right.
that have a bigger investment or that have a more lucrative outcome. That's more of the idea is like this is the work that I provide, and I want other people to see like if they're going to hire me, like it turns into like a portfolio essentially.
Right. Right.
So that's,
Have you ever
how
done?
I look at it.
Do you do any advertising to push your stuff?
No,
Because
I
like,
I did
we need
I
to
did
talk nerd
one I think
advertising.
like 6 years ago. I paid
All
for
right. So okay, you go to game fair,
yeah,
right? All right. So you go to game fair, and it's like you're a competitor of mine. This doesn't work, and I'm just making this up. I'm just yanking his chain.
yeah,
Um, you go to game fair and you run a Facebook ad that is your sizzle reel or whatever
right,
stuff you want people to see. So like if people, hey, what do you do? And if you're, at game fair, you be like, hey, here's my, these are my pictures.
yeah,
So what
yeah,
you do is you do a geo-targeted ad for like within, a mile of where the game fair,
yeah, and then it'll
is.
push everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it only pushes to people there on that day. And so there are other people who are doing that, but most people are too lazy to do super geo-targeted stuff. Like my nephew lost his tortoise, got out while he was on vacation, came home, this big old, basketball sized tortoise. And, for $50 a day, I've been able to reach 9,000 people within a mile of his house. I have the whole neighborhood looking for his stupid tortoise who's probably burrowed under somebody's shed right now. It's
yeah,
like we're not targeting that you can do. Like YouTube came out with a retailer how to make um videos app, and it would say what kind of business do you have, and it was basically
yeah,
trying to get small business people to do that, and it basically had all these scripts where it's like film the outside of your business for 2 seconds. Now take a
okay,
shot of you saying, hi, I'm Rob Snell with Gun Dog Supply. Now take
yeah,
a picture of you waiting on a customer, and it stitched all these things together. And I really wanted to meet the product manager who did that, but all my contacts at Google are in search, not in this,
Okay.
not at
Yeah.
YouTube and on this other thing. So
Yeah.
I basically wrote a review of it, made a video on it, and then I broadcast. I mean, I advertised that to people within a mile of YouTube headquarters, which is different from Google headquarters. And I got a phone call, and I got
Really?
yes from the project manager, and she wanted to talk to me, and I talked to her for 30 minutes on the phone, and it turned out to not be what I wanted to do,
Okay.
but that kind of targeting is like it's fantastic, as
Yeah,
far as like
that's very interesting because that's something I probably should do, but yeah, with your background and knowing that and like running ads for the company, it's like, yeah, that's got to be monumental as far as like targeting your audience instead of trying
yeah,
to
and
find your target audience.
right. And if everybody's in one spot, it's super easy to do. The problem is that that's not how advertising works. It's like there's only one Super Bowl a year. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It's like you have to 364 other days out of the year. You have to figure out how to get ads to these people. How, out of these 8 billion people, how do I get to my 100,000 folks?
right.
That's like you
Yeah,
know
yeah, that's tough.
that's that's super tough. And now it's not the Wild West anymore. Now they have algorithms and PhD programs on advertising, buying, and slicing audiences and all this cookie stuff. And it's just like, I, I just want to sell some dog collars, dude,
Right.
and
Yeah.
take some dog pictures. I'm not trying to. I don't need a plane. You know what I mean?
No, no. It's
Ain't nobody getting rich doing this.
yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
it's fun and we love doing it.
yeah.
And I'm so jealous that you get to go tomorrow and I don't. I'm like, you're killing me, brother.
I'll send you
Killing me.
some pictures just so you can feel
You will.
motivated.
You need to text me like first thing as you're getting them. I'll just be like,
Yeah,
"Ah."
and it'll be real early for you too. It'll be an hour back, I think.
Oh man! But I'm the first guy up at duck camp. I'm a guy who will sleep till noon if I can because I never had kids.
Yeah,
But at duck camp it's like 4 o'clock and I'm up and I'm painted and
ready to
I'm dressed
roll.
and I'm ready to go. And they're like, "Oh, this dude's got it bad," and I do. I got the fever, man.
Yeah,
It's like it's fun.
it's
It's
tough.
fun.
It's tough to shake it. I mean, like I spent the whole summer fishing with my son, and I've been like we're still fishing, but it's like as much as I am excited for duck season, I wish that just that we could just fish all year because it's
Right?
me and him. But once he's like once he's ready for it, it's gonna be bad. Like
Yeah.
we'll be
Oh,
out all
yeah.
the time
That's good.
as
That's
long as he
really
wants
good.
to. It's I'm not gonna push him, but yeah, it's he'll probably be the same way. I mean, he gets up early now. Well, he's up
Right.
before everybody else, so it's like if I tell him we're going hunting, I don't know if he'll wake up even earlier.
See, that was my problem when I was that age. My dad was taking my brother hunting, and he wanted to get me to go, and I'm like, wait, I got to get up at 6,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I got to
Then you
walk
start duck
around.
hunting and you're getting up at 3?
Yes, yes, but I got it. I got the fever now.
Yeah.
But it's like you got snacks, and you're going to do nothing but walk for 4 hours and not see any quail in
Yeah,
Mississippi.
that's the part that would be tough for me.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks, Dad. I'm good. I'm gonna stay home and watch Star Wars cartoons or something. But now I got it. He would be laughing his butt off if he
Oh,
see me in
yeah.
my Sitka out in the out in
In
the
your
out in the
ghillie suit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I look like a swamp thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, before we sign off of here, generally what I like to do is ask people about another hobby, but you have presented me with a better idea. And I pulled up 2 of the photos that I want to kind of have you discuss or,
Okay.
talk about. So the first one is the photo that you sent me that just says gun dog supply.
Okay. That's my parents.
And this will pop
Uh,
up on the video, but it's yeah, why don't you describe it and kind of review?
yeah, that's a picture that I didn't take. That's a picture that somebody else took that we've used. We call it the founder's pick, but that's like
Okay.
it's the 72, but it's really 1982, I think, because
Okay.
we're still in the dog food, and that's like in our third location. They've
Okay.
moved 2 times. But that's my parents with somebody else's Brittany puppy out in front of the store, just taking a photo with our crappy logo, with his hobby center logo, letters that he got on there. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, I could actually letter in 1983. Come on, WC, give me the paintbrush. But that's he's wearing his Wayne, our kennel ration, dog food paraphernalia, and so he was all in. My dad was all into whatever brands we were. He was a company man.
Yeah.
And so we still have got some of that stuff. But my mom is like, she was the she was the chief operating officer, even though they didn't have, you know, it was a 3-man operation at that point.
Yeah.
She was running the show. She was ordering all the stuff and ordering the dog food and talking to the customers and dog cuss at PetSmart. That was a good time.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's a cool retro
Throwback.
throwback.
Yeah, it's so weird seeing them younger than I am now. That's really weird.
Yeah,
you know, like,
I can imagine it. Yeah, I mean, it's
like,
just such a cool. It's like you look at where the company is now, and like that's kind of like one of those hero stories where, you know, this is how it started, was just a white piece of foam board with wooden letters stuck to it. It's just
hand cutting out dog collars and like using a soldering iron to burn holes in nylon dog collars and lighters to cut the ends where, you know, you cut nylon, there's like strings hanging off, burn it off with that. I don't want to know how many dog collars he did. And then we had the hand, the brass dog tag machine was by hand, and it had a rotary dial on it. I've still got it, which I'm not going to get it because it weighs 800 pounds, but it's like, it's around the corner. But, you know, somebody would come in and go, hey, I want 20 of them dog tags that y'all sell for $1.
Yeah.
And my mom would turn around and go, Rob? I'm like, what?
And then you guys stamp all of them?
Yeah. And it's like, and then what happens is 4 lines, and it's like, if you make a mistake, you throw it away and you move on to the next one. So they'd have like a weird phone number, and by the time, you know, you get in a rhythm, you kind of learn their address and whatever. So you're on the 19th or the 20th tag, and then you discover 10 tags in that you did the address wrong on all of them. And you just want to die. You just want to die.
Yeah, I'm going home.
Now we have a robot that does it, and it's like, it's magazine fed. It can do 50 tags in a magazine. It does a tag in 12 seconds. It's interfaced to our computer. I love it when I love my customers. I'm not customer facing, so I'm not talking to you, customer. When a customer goes, y'all typed my phone number in wrong. And I'm like, oh, we didn't type anything in wrong. It just takes what you give me through the magic of the internet, down all these wires, into this software, copies it to this software, copies it to this software, and what you type is what gets put on the tag. But we don't say that. We're like, oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. How can I fix that? Okay, thank you.
But it's so much, and then you can send it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to them for free. And it's like, yeah, I will. I'll probably. Yeah, they don't let me talk to customers for a reason, right? They don't. They lock me upstairs, and they're like, yeah, it's great. How are the customers today? They're great, Rob.
Great,
no problems at all. But like customer service wise, you know, we got a 4.9 star, and it's like I fixate on that 0.1 that we don't have.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just
as
my personality.
Any entrepreneur does.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, and half the time they're absolutely right. You know what I mean? We dropped the ball. It was a mistake I made. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that gives me the opportunity to go fix that thing, so systematically it's fixed.
Right.
But I got to give the other 49 people in the building, they're the ones who earn those 4.9 stars.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, anytime somebody gets name checked, I've got my cowbell and I got a megaphone, and I'll do a parade and I'll wear a stupid hat and I'll be like, Kathleen, that's awesome. You know? And they're like, what's he doing? Yeah. And it's almost time for the Grinch to come out. The Grinch comes out. If we have a good year, the Grinch comes out. The Grinch comes out at Christmas. Full face paint. And
I've seen pictures of this.
Yeah. And it's like, they love it when the Grinch comes out for multiple reasons. It's funny, but they're also the Grinch is bringing presents, you know?
Yeah. There we
go. But we got a great staff, and it's like, we're super fortunate to have the people we have, because they take care of our customers like they're their customers, and they are.
Yeah.
You know, so we fixate on. So it's not, it's the same business that it was, but it's completely different, but it's the same, if that makes any sense at all.
The culture is the same, but the scale.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah. And it's like, I have to be really careful, because I'll bellyache, and it's like, I need to not bellyache in front of people who are customer facing, because it's like, and they know it's like, oh, that's Rob, just let Rob be Rob.
Yeah.
But they know that we're here to take care of customers, and the customer's always the customer, regardless if they're right or not, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
And you got to take care of folks. And it's like, I remember when I was 14 or 15, my mom used to forward the 800 number to ring at the house, because we had to get every order that we could have. It made the house payment, you know? And so I had a legal pad by my bed as a 14-year-old, because I could wake up and be alert on one ring of that phone, take somebody's order at 3 a.m, and then go back to sleep. Whereas everybody in the house would get all, stirred up. Yeah. Whereas like, I could just like pop up, do it, and then go back to sleep. And they thought I was an operator somewhere, or somebody abusing child labor laws in Mississippi. And, keychain to the phone,
Yeah.
but and then the catalogs, we used to fold the catalogs ourselves. My mom would save money by not having the printer collate and fold catalogs and staple them. So that's, every time I see a catalog, I get PTSD, paper cuts, and,
Stuck pricked fingers from
but
staples.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a living, and it's like, it's a
Yeah.
lifestyle business. And, we love our customers, and we understand where they're coming from, because they love this stuff as much or more, as we do. And they're into different kinds of stuff. Like some of the hound guys are into different things, and the coon hunting guys, and the, the grouse fellows, and maybe not necessarily exactly what we do, but it's the same thing. They love dogs. They love game. They love going outside.
There's
they
something
love
for
being active.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and one thing that I really need to say is the most important thing you can do is put your phone number on your dog. Okay. I always have to do this.
On the tags. Yeah.
Yeah. Put your phone number on your dog. Your dog can't phone home. So it's like, even if you get it from PetSmart or Chewy, which we hate them, but no, put your phone number on your dog, because this doubles the chances of your dog getting back.
Yes.
Buy it from Lion Country. I don't care. Just put your phone number on your dog.
Yeah. Get that tag home.
And yeah, because when somebody sees a dog that's got a collar on it, they go, "Oh, that's not a stray. That's somebody's pet."
Right.
And if they see a tag on it, they go, "Oh, that's got a tag. I can probably get a phone number off that." And everybody's got a cell phone. So put your cell phone on it and put your wife's cell phone on it. So that doubles the chances of you being able to pick up the call when your dog gets found. Because your dog's going to get out and somebody's going to find it,
Yeah. That's a super important PSA. Yeah.
So we, we got a lot of dog collars, but it's more important. I don't care where you get it. Get a dog collar and, put your phone number on your dog.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, on that note,
I got one more
the next. So this one is with the pintail in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
Now, is this Brock?
That is Brock.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Let me double check. These newfangled phones. Yeah, that's Brock, and that was Josh getting the pintail that he wanted to get.
The one that was like a one that he wanted to get mounted.
Yeah. He was like, he had not shot a big bull pintail that had a huge sprig on it or whatever. I think that was the one. So it's like, Josh is super excited and making sure that he gets the bird, and then I'm like excited because of that, and I don't want to blow it and not get the photograph of the dog coming back. And so fortunately, that was one of the snaps that I got with him coming back, and he was pretty close,
That's
but awesome. It's about the story behind the photo. It's like, it's not just a picture of a dog. It's the, Josh has never shot this pintail before. There was one coming in and it was huge, and Josh saw it and he knew, don't miss this one, and he got it, and the bird went down, but it was across the river, and so Brock had to like charge across the river to get it, and it was at a weird angle, so it was like he was on an angle where I couldn't. It was straight away from me, so I wasn't getting a great shot. I got a butt shot of it going away, and then coming back, there's so much trash sticking out that I couldn't get around it. So I'm like, running into the dang water, and Josh is so excited. He's filming the whole thing. And the funniest part of that was that they decided that since I can't clean ducks and I can't clean guns and what are the other things that I can't do at duck camp, because I'm the photographer, that I got to go to Dollar General and buy the pantyhose to put the pintail
in. Which they tell you is like the worst thing you can do for them birds.
Oh, really? That's okay. I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And I was told that you put them in the pantyhose, you put them in the freezer.
So I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got to be embarrassed by the cute little Arkansas girl at the Dollar General, this grown man, 260 pounds of Mississippi redneck, buying a pair of pantyhose. And so just to keep the joke going, while I was there on the pantyhose aisle, there was a 3-pack of women's triple extra large panties that I happened to buy as well. And I was able, and you know how duck camp can be with pranks.
Oh yeah.
So I used those to my advantage. And it's like, people found those under their pillow. One dude found it 6 months later underneath the front seat of his truck. And I had to explain to his girlfriend that it was me that put those there. It's great. So we have a good time with good, clean fun at duck camp.
That's so awesome. Yeah. We tell people all the time that photos are worth 1,000 words. And yes. I mean, even just with you talking about those 2 photos, like the story always rings true. Like
there's always there's a lot of emotion in those pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's so cool about it. And for us to be able to share those with people and capture those, that's kind of like, as a photographer for me, that's what it's all about. You know, like at the end of the day, like people can pay me as much money as they want to come capture whatever it is that I'm capturing. Weddings, portraits, family photos, newborn photos, duck dog pictures, product placement photos. Doesn't
Right.
matter to me. If there's a cool story to it, that's what's driving me to want to do that.
And as a photographer, you need to dig in and find out what the story is. Like I shot my aunt's 80th birthday, not just because I had a camera and I knew that all her relatives would be there. And I'm like, some of these people aren't going to be here forever.
Right.
And I need to get pictures of them laughing and hugging each other. And, you know, and I'm a dog photographer, dude. I don't know how to pose people or anything, you know, but it's like, we got some pretty good shots, you know. For a dog photographer, I'm like, I can live with it. But yeah, it's super important. And like I was saying, all of Josh's dogs now are starting to get up there in age, to where they're not going to be here forever. You know, this might be the last season for 2 or 3 of them,
right?
Which makes me really sad. But it's like I feel great about how many great images we have of how awesome those dogs are.
All those memories.
Yeah, and it's like it's fantastic. And my brother lost, you know, the dog that's on the cover of GunDogSupply.com. He lost that dog and that dog's son this like the same week a couple of months ago, and it's like he's devastated. You know, these 2 great dogs of his, but thank goodness we had a photo shoot like 2 weeks before where I got just a ton of great photos of that of Bull. I mean, just like, you know, it's super important, you know. Absolutely. And I try to remember I'm not just taking pictures of dummies. You know what I mean? And dog collars. You know, this is some of the most important things in people's lives.
Of course. So it's really heartwarming when you start to talk to people that appreciate that stuff. But like in your case, like you appreciate doing the same thing that I do. It's pretty cool. Well, Rob,
it's good to meet Peach, dude. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been an awesome conversation. I get excited about a lot of them, but I like this one for you and me, I feel like has been coming for a while.
Yeah, no, it's great. You know, we need to do it again, catch up after the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt I'm going to have you back on because this has been so much fun. It's been so cool to hear about everything, like the background of what you do. You know, most people on the surface just see Gun Dog Supply Rob and they don't know the background to it. So
there's 58 years worth of blood, sweat, and tears behind every dog collar, you know?
Yeah, remember that when you put your number on your dog collar, there's a lot of...
Yes, when you put your phone number on your dog, remember the physical pain of these fingers of hand imprinted your phone number so your loved one can get back to you.
Exactly.
Operators are standing by. Please call.
Well, Rob, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, GunDogSupply.com is probably the best place to find, you know, our family business. And if you're on Facebook, just search for Rob Snell, and I'm on there posting stupid stuff all the time. If you like Star Wars and ducks and dogs, you know, and memes and that kind of stuff, I love. I'm a nerd. I love it. We have a good time. Brian knows.
Yeah, I do. And Gun Dog Supply on Instagram.
Don't forget. At Gun Dog Supply. Yeah, usually it's at Gun Dog Supply or whatever the thing is. But yeah,
on all of them. Yeah.
Sally's running that now. She's doing a good job on our Insta account. And Steve's on TikTok. If you're into Garmin TT 25s and Garmin Alpha stuff, he's the Garmin Alpha dude, support guy on TikTok. He's blowing up. I'm not gonna be able to sit in the same room with him. He's an influencer now.
Always has been. Now he's just a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, thanks.
I got stories.
I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
If you guys aren't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe. Check out 𝐤𝐤𝐤.com. Use the code TMH18 for 18% off your order, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.